For Ultimate Team coins, check out thefootshop.com, their link is in the description below, and for a discount on your coins, use Nepo at checkout. What's up guys, NepentheZ here, and welcome to the FIFA 15 matchmaking ELO system. Before we get into this video, I want to talk a little bit about where this came from. Basically, in my stream and throughout the year of FIFA 15, I was pretty good at this game until the patch came out, and I'd always post my records, or people would see my records on Twitter and on videos, and they'd say stuff like, "Yo, try playing in Division 1, bro. Try playing with the worst team, bro. Try playing with this and that, bro." And I actually just wanted to talk a little bit about how the matchmaking system works, because a lot of people don't understand what I say when I talk about an ELO system. So ELO system is a rating actually introduced by a guy whose surname was ELO. However, you could potentially credit the digits to like electronic something because it's a rating system essentially. What this is, what you're seeing on the screen right now, is the methods of matchmaking within FIFA Ultimate Team. Now, nobody knows exactly how these work because EA have never released this sort of stuff, which I find shocking because what difference really does it make if we find out how we match up against people? But as far as I understand from help with other websites, it goes by location first, so where you're currently playing, although there are errors in this. And like me, for example, in FIFA 13, I consistently came up against people, even in FIFA 14 as well, from people from Saudi Arabia and that area of the world, in spite of the fact that I live in London. So that was quite strange, but it tries to match you up by location first. It then matches you up by your ELO rating, which is generated from your relative skill level. It then tries to match you up via division, and it then tries to match you up by your team rating and chemistry. So what this particularly means is that you might be in Division 3 playing against an opponent in Division 1, and I'm going to explain how that works. So on the new screen here, guys, you've got Team 1 and Team 2. So the location for both people is London, because that's where I'm from, so I thought I'd use it as an example. The ELO rating, for example, would be 459 for Team 1, 432 for Team 2, and Team 1 is in Division 5, Team 2 is in Division 7, and then the team rating and chem is high and high. So let me explain to you basically what this means. Location is very simple, it's where you're based. I'm in London, you're in London, probably in England. We're going to match up against each other. If there's no one in your in your closest area, it will move out and it will move out and it will move out until it matches you up with someone. So you might, like me as an Englishman, might match up against someone from France or Germany or Spain because there's no one else at that particular time that matches my location that also has a very similar ELO rating, a similar division, and a similar team chem and rating. As we move on to the ELO rating, imagine, so many of you will be like, what do you mean ELO rating? That's not a thing. You're making that up. Let me explain to you what it is. It's an invisible stat within the game. So imagine you start FIFA with 100 ELO points. They're invisible points, literally just invisible points. You don't get to see them. You don't know that they're there. You don't know what you have. You don't know what your opponent has, but you have 100. Or in this instance, 459 or 432. When you match up against someone, if you beat that person, you gain ELO points. If that person has less ELO points than you and you beat them, you will gain a lower amount of ELO points than if they have a higher amount of ELO points than you when you beat them. So for example, in this instance, Team 1 has 459 ELO points, Team 2 has 432 ELO points. So basically, if Team 2 won, it is the weaker player there because they have less ELO points, they have less rating. They would get more points for winning because they're beating a better player than if they lost. So as you can see from the diagram below, I've basically made it so that there is a average of, I've literally just made this up. Like, this isn't real, but it is real within the game. But because I don't know the actual statistics, I had to make something up. So if Team 1, who is the better team, wins, it gets 17 ELO points, for example. Or if Team 2 wins, it gets 20 because it's playing against a higher opponent, a better opponent, If Team 1 draws, they would lose 2 ELO points because they're drawing against a worse team, a team that they would expect to beat. And if Team 2 draws, they might gain those 2 ELO points because they're drawing against a team who is better than them. If Team 1 loses, it would lose. If Team 1, which is supposedly the better team, loses to a team that has a lower rating than itself, it will lose more points than if the team who has a lower rating loses to a team with a higher rating. So what does this mean? This basically means you could have potentially in Division 5 or Division 6, you could have enough points to be playing against people in Division 4 or Division 3. You know, there's a lot of people that really struggle in Division 3 and Division 2, and the reason is because your ELO rating might be so high that you're actually playing against people in Division 1. So me specifically, my record right now in seasons is 39 wins, 6 draws and 1 loss. 39, 6 and 1. So I've only lost 1 game. So you could imagine that my ELO rating is really high. Even though I'm in Division 4, it's likely I'm already playing against people that are in Division 2 and possibly and probably in Division 1. So just because you're playing in a lower division, it doesn't necessarily mean you're playing against low division partners. It only, like, the matching up of the division isn't really something EA focus on closely. Does that make sense? Like, it's like, so like I say, the ELO system and the location are the primary examples of what they will match you up on. And then the team rating and chemistry, which in this instance, I've tagged them as high. I would say you get low, medium and high. Like, Japes actually made an interesting video today or yesterday about him liking the fact that he makes his team 81 or 82 rated because he finds he gets no handicap. What I personally believe, because, you know, I've been through handicap in this game many times, whether I believe it or not is irrelevant. EA stand by themselves that it doesn't exist. If you've got an 81 rated team, you're likely to be matched up against other lower rated teams because yours is so low rated. Hence, probably someone who can't afford as many coins, probably hasn't played the game as much. Maybe they're actually just a little bit easier games. Obviously, I don't know for sure, and maybe Japes is bang on the nail with it. Maybe a lower rated team voids you of any handicap. But in my opinion, having a lower rated team with a high chem in a high division, you're going to be coming up against really good people because you're going to be playing against people who have played this game to death with a low team. So they're used to playing against better players or players on their own skill level with better teams and are beating those better teams. So there's much to be discussed within this system. But basically, like I said, the bottom line is there is a hidden rating that matches you up against people before the league that you're in. So for those that might sit there, like Philip DeFranco tweeted me today that he's stuck in Division 3, he's hit a wall in Division 3. The likelihood is that through his Division 10 to Division 4 like progress, he gained so many ELO points that when he moved into like Division 4 and Division 3, he's now playing against people in Division 2 and Division 1. So he's playing against the best of the best within the division system. So that's why he's hit the wall. It's not necessarily because people in Division 3 are so good, because so many people tell me they find Division 1 real easy, but Division 2 and Division 3 was real hard. The likelihood is, through you getting through Division 3 and Division 2, through you powering through those divisions and playing so hard to try and get to the next division, you've actually just become a much better player within the game simply because you're playing against better opponents, that when you get to Division 1, you've been playing against that level of opponent for so long now that it doesn't feel like it's a step up. It feels like you're on the same level and you're getting better. So in a nutshell, guys, I just want to complete and round the video off talking, like going over the points here. So you play against players first off in location and ELO. Offline games do not affect your ELO points. As far as I'm aware, cup games also don't affect your ELO points, because in cups you actually get matched up against a person in the round that you are in. So if I'm in the quarterfinals and I have 1 billion ELO points and you've just started FIFA and you're also in the quarterfinals, it will match it up on location and then team rating and chem. No ELO system, no division, literally location, team rating, are you in the same round as me? So that's why sometimes in the cups, you might have a 100 chem team, an incredible team, and come up against someone who's got a starter pack bronze team. Obviously they do take team rating and chemistry into consideration, but it is one of the final things they look at when matching someone up. So there's the odd occasion where you might just match up against someone who's got a really bad team, or maybe that has a really good team and is just really bad at FIFA. Last but not least, while divisions is a true reflection of skill, you are unlikely to be playing people in your division 100% of the time, in the same manner that if you're in Division 1, let's say you scrape through in Division 1 and you hang on by the skin of your teeth, but you lose, what is it to stay in Division 1? 12 points, 15 points? Let's say you just get enough points to stay up in Division 1 every single time. You're probably going to actually be losing ELO points whilst you're in Division 1, but staying in Division 1. So you might find yourself playing against people in Division 2, Division 3, Division 4, even Division 5, whilst you're in Division 1. So eventually, you're going to have a low enough ELO if you don't get relegated to actually be able to win the division, because you're going to be playing against people of your own stature whilst you're in a much higher division. It's a system that I think works really well, but something I would like to see changed a little bit. Like, I like the ELO system. I think the rating system works very well like this. I like the fact that you're playing against people of your own abilities, but I wish that there would be a difference in the leagues, I guess. Like, League of Legends has bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond, master, and challenger. So seven different sets of leagues. When you're in Division 10, you get into promos to, you know, play, or yeah, well, when you're in bronze, you get into promos, you play your way into silver. So you really do earn your spots moving up the divisions. In FIFA, you don't necessarily earn your spots, because if you have low ELO and you're playing against, like, let's say you have 1,000 ELO, and for whatever reason, due to the location and the team CHEM rating, you constantly come up against people with 800 ELO points, and you boost your ELO to like 1,200 or 1,300, and then you reset FIFA, and the next time you come in, for whatever reason, you're now coming up against people with 13, 14, 1,500 ELO points. You're playing against people that are so much better than the people that you were previously playing, which could explain the reason why some people have days where they have incredible runs on FIFA, and then the next day with the exact same team and the exact same style of FIFA that they're playing, they can't buy a win, is because of this ELO system and how it works. I'm also unsure as to whether or not the ELO system takes place whilst you're in game. I don't know if you start a brand new account and you get a brand new ELO rating, I don't know if you just never switched that account off and never logged off of Ultimate Team, if your ELO rating would change, or if it only changes after you log out and then log back in. Because if it only changes after you log out and log back in, it would explain so many anomalies within this game as to why on some days you could just win everything that's put in front of you, and on other days you can barely get a win. Because if you go on like a 10 or 11 losing streak, your ELO points are going to drop so low. You get mad, you turn your console off, you come back a day later or a few days later, you turn your console back on, your ELO's been reset to the level that it now is, and all of a sudden you're like, oh, I'm winning again. This is crazy. I must have just had an off day. I must have just had a bad day. You know, maybe it wasn't my fault. Maybe it was a bad FIFA day. Maybe it is the ELO rating. Anyway, guys, if there's any questions on this, or if I haven't explained anything perfectly clearly, let me know in the comment section below what you think and any questions that you have that I'll try to answer. But for now, this is the end of the video, so thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.